The old prisoner was halfway through his noodles when he suddenly picked up a strand and extended it toward his crotch. The newcomer Mike was instantly dumbfounded, so he curiously bent down to investigate. Turned out this lifer was actually keeping a mouse that had also lost its freedom. This scene immediately struck a chord with Mike, because he didn't want his fate to be the same as the mouse before him. After a moment of contemplation, Mike, with his 250 IQ, immediately came up with a bold plan. While the guard wasn't watching, he actually rubbed his eating spoon against his shoe sole, then calmly called over a guard, saying his spoon was too dirty, and requested a clean replacement. The guard was about to refuse, when a fellow inmate quickly covered for him, saying he couldn't eat noodles with a spoon, and strongly requested chopsticks instead. The guard was momentarily speechless, and had no choice but to agree to their request. The two walked to the serving counter without changing expression. The inmate chatted enthusiastically with the guard, while Mike took advantage of the guard's distraction to swap his spoon and quickly leave. But what no one noticed was that he had actually taken 2 spoons. Back in his cell, Mike immediately sprang into action. He placed a bundle of matches into a metal can, then broke off the spoon handle and disassembled a nail clipper, using the small file to grind a magnesium coin. Moments later, he had obtained some combustible magnesium powder. Then he lit the matches, and using the magnesium powder, welded the spoon handle and small file together. Mike did this because he had discovered that this prison was not only old, but also built on the sea. The building materials, after long-term erosion, had become extremely fragile. Mike could easily dig a hole, using just the nail clipper. Now with this handy tool, the efficiency was immediately apparent. But just as Mike was excitedly digging, a guard suddenly came for inspection, but Mike was completely unaware. The inmate next door quickly banged on the cell door as a warning. Mike immediately became alert, and hurriedly used his suitcase to block the hole, dumped the debris into the toilet, then quickly lay back on his bed. But in his haste, he had dropped his tool on the floor. He wanted to pick it up, but the guard had already reached the door. Mike had no choice but to engage him in conversation, while the digging tool lay right under the guard's nose. Fortunately, this guard had vision problems, and didn't see the tool on the floor. After he left, Mike thanked his fellow inmate, then continued digging. Before long, he had dug out an ideally sized hole, just big enough for Mike to crawl through. But a bigger problem emerged. The iron bars were welded to 2 bolts. Mike used all his strength, but couldn't pry them open with his bare hands. But with his 250 IQ, he already had a solution. The next day, as Mike was heading to the workshop to use the sewing machine, while the guard wasn't looking, he scattered all the building debris in his pocket. Along the pathway, while working in the workshop, Mike discovered a component wrapped in sheet metal, which could perfectly be used to pry open the iron mesh. But when he was about to secretly take the component, the guards had added a metal detector at the door, which immediately went off when he passed through. But Mike didn't panic at all. He voluntarily took out the component, saying he wanted to use it to hang clothes. The guard confiscated the component and told Mike to get lost. But the guard never imagined that he had still been fooled by Mike, because Mike had hidden another one in his shoe sole. He wedged the component